I'm Ralph Ferguson, Managing Director of the Texas Tech University Ethics Center. Today, the discussion is about the importance of ethics honoring fallen soldiers. These men and women that have given their lives to secure our freedoms. Our guests will share how they honor the fallen and why. Please introduce yourself, Rick, and let's go around the table and tell us a little something about yourself and your organization.
Okay, I'm Rick Martinez, President of United Valor MC. We are a veterans-based motorcycle club. Our goal is to assist with veterans in need, their family members, and also with the local community of Lubbock. I'm a retired Army veteran, sergeant, served in Iraq. I served a total of 10 years with multiple certifications and qualifications that I was able to qualify through.
Ford, you want to share a little bit about your experience?
Dusty Sims, 12 years in the Army, United States Cavalry, OF1, OF 0709, and that's about it.
All right, well, thank you for now, were you in Iraq as well?
Twice.
Okay, and how many years were you there?
First one was a year and a month, and then the second one was 18 months.
You did 2 tours there. All right. Manuel, you want to share with us your experience? I understand you're not military, but kind of give us an overview.
Right, Manuel Moreno, not military, but big supporter. Always have been, have a lot of family that's been in the military for many years. Just, I guess, grew up around it.
Thank you, gentlemen. Let's go to the questions, because I think what we want to do is let people know that we have fallen warriors, and the men and women that we bring back to this country that have gone out to support us maintaining and having freedom here. We need to acknowledge them when they arrive here. So how do you honor the fallen in our community? What path or what role do you take in doing that?
So we try to make contact with family members of either the veteran that has passed away here at home or someone that has died abroad and brought back home. Okay. With that, we try to coordinate with different organizations to get them I guess you could say, the full honors that they can receive. Okay. So we will escort them from the funeral home to the church if they have something at church, to their burial site. We coordinate with VFW, American Legion, American Patriot Riders, okay, or Patriot Guard. And this all kind of encompasses a 21 gun salute. It encompasses a funeral detail and a flag presentation to the next of kin, okay, kind of as a symbol of a thank you from our nation.
Okay. Do you visit other communities to provide this kind of support to families?
I mean, we help out with Plainview because we have a chapter of Plainview, but we haven't.
Yeah, I don't think we haven't really been reached out to that far.
Okay.
We do have a chapter in Plainview. They're actually the descendants of a Marine that passed away within 3 or 4 years ago. So it's his son and his grandsons that actually manage that club, that chapter up there at least. I don't think we would hesitate. We've always agreed to take care of our surrounding community. But Lubbock's always kind of been our core of what we take care of.
Yeah. So if another community wanted you to bring the cycles down to, let's say, San Angelo or Brownwood or someplace,
we would definitely try to get that going. Yeah.
The other question I kind of would like to get your thinking on: what would you tell soldiers leaving home to secure freedom in a war zone? Today we have a lot of young men and women that are going into the military. If you were meeting with them and they were going into the military and going to a war zone, what would you say to them? How would you want to boast their confidence and let them know that all is well?
I'd honestly want to give them almost a dose of reality from what we've experienced. And what I'm going to say, it almost sounds conflicting with the parts that I'll say. In the end, it's not about us. It's not about the medals we can receive. It's not about the awards we can get, the promotions. But it's a broken down scheme, and this is the part they have to remember. And this is because it's like compartmentalizing. Forgive me on the wording.
It's all right.
But what it is you know, in the beginning when we enlist, it's about, you know, us fighting for our country. It's about us fighting for a purpose. And when we come home and the job is done, it's about having secured that purpose. But when we're there, it's almost like saying that it's out the window. And what I mean by that is nothing matters but us when we're there.
Okay.
And that's one thing that I truly believe people don't understand, is that when we're there, it's not about, you know, it's not anyone at home. It's not, you know, the people you left behind. It's not about people being able to celebrate anything. It's about us taking care of each other, being there for each other, and
On the
making
field.
sure that all of us come back home. And I know that was a very big thing that my superiors taught me, that they learned when they were younger, because I went in 06.
Okay.
So by this point, this was a heavy surge. I mean, we've already been at war there for 5 years, 6 years, and they've learned what it meant to be there for each other. And that's kind of what we've brought back home, is that here at home, we're there for each other.
What would you remind the community of about honoring the fallen and caring for those who return? What would you want to, through your activities as escorts and honoring these men and women that come back for their valor, what would you say to the community that is important for the community to understand and get on board, and understand that when people return, that it's an essential thing, it's something that's important to do?
It says not to forget. The day that we forget what we have done and why is the day that we as a fighting force have failed and lost. And what I mean as not to forget is our nation, the people at home. Everything we did and endured would have been for nothing if we're forgotten.
Families have disruption.
They do. Families, communities, towns, and then the nation as a whole. I honestly feel like, you know, when 9/11 happened, the first thing that I remember seeing was flags on every household, yellow ribbons on every tree. That mentality was gone because they've forgotten. And it seems like something has to happen to us to remember what we're doing and what people have done for us, you know, as a defense force. And it's sad that we have to lose that many people at a time of war for people to remember that. So that's my thing, is just not forgetting. Just always remember.
Manuel, is there anything that you'd like to add to this topic before we close this thing down?
I think he said it the best. I mean, never forget. I mean, especially as a civilian, we can't afford to forget these men and women.
No.
We owe them. Some people don't see it as we do. I see it as we owe them more than a lot of people think, because some of us try to enlist and can't. We could due to different reasons. Some of us simply choose not to.
Yeah.
And we take that for granted. These men and women signed up, not even thinking twice, and some of them ultimately paid the ultimate sacrifice.
I particularly appreciate meeting you today in reference to this escort for the fallen that you provide. This for those. It's an honor to know that there are other people that are actually putting basically rubber to the pavement to say we should not forget these people and we should show them high respect when they pass on. That's outstanding, and that requires a great deal of bravery as well, and an ethics that we really want to promote and encourage among our public, because I think one of the points that we talked on is that sometimes we get busy in our lives and really don't connect or set aside what is truly important. I think we all do that. We start feeling like I got to get to the movie as opposed to going here. Well, sometimes we need to stop and rethink and figure out how can you go from here to there with such freedom without paying respects to the men and women that have made the ultimate sacrifice for us to do this. So, Rick, Forge, Manuel, thank you for coming in. Appreciate it.